Welcome to Huskins Field in Medford, Massachusetts. I'm Brad Schussel, alongside
Max Schmelowitz here.
Max Schmelowitz. I forgot your last name there for a second. We got a second game of our doubleheader here. We had an awesome game in the first, absolutely incredible. We had a 4-4 game going into extras, and Tufts won on a walk-off home run from Matt Moses, shortstop. What did you see there, Max?
It was just a beautiful swing, and with the wind carrying the ball out, it was a shot right over dead center field.
Absolutely, a great home run, and Tufts, in this 3-game series against Trinity, has taken the first 2 games and looked for the sweep here. And if you're Trinity, it's got to be a little discouraging, maybe, if you're coming off a game where you just let up a walk-off home run in extras. You know, if you're the Bantams, you got to keep your head up here.
Certainly a tough series for them so far. They've lost 2 games after getting up ahead early, but facing a very good Jumbos team here who has yet to lose in conference. So if they could come away with a win right here, I think they would consider themselves winners.
Trinity did actually not have a lead in the last game. They no, it's okay. They tied the game with back-to-back home runs right in the top of the 7th, excuse me. And unfortunately for them, let a walk off in the bottom of the 8th at extras. It was just an incredible hit. There were 4 home runs in the ball game. And we'll see what Trinity can do here if they can prevent Tufts from getting the sweep of this series. Teams, again, only play 3 games in the entire season. Only play 1 series, so this will be the last time these teams play each other in the spring.
And it should certainly be an interesting matchup today in this game. Trinity going with Chris Spear on the mound, who is not one of their primary pitchers, whereas Tufts is dealing their ace.
Absolutely. Andrew David has a 1.42 ERA, as you see him taking the field right there. Number 17, Andrew David, has a 1.42 ERA on the year, 36 strikeouts, 2-0 record going into this game. And again, Tufts, you want more of the same from the last game. Because Spiros Faranos, who was the starter in the last game, was incredible. Didn't let up a hit until the bottom of the 5th, or the top of the 5th, rather, when he let up a 2-run home run. And he had just been rock solid the whole game, letting up only those 2 runs.
Undoubtedly, and if David can pitch as he's been doing all season, the Jumbos should have a great chance to win today based on their hard-hitting offense, and especially with the wind continuing to blow out, we could still see some more homers.
That 2-run home run in the last game, of course, and one of the home runs in the top of the 7th that helped the Bantams force extra innings. Both of those home runs were by Nick Pizzella, the senior, rather, shortstop. And he'll be leading off this game here. He's the leadoff hitter for the Bantams, as you see him in the on-deck circle there.
Regardless of the wind, though, it is a beautiful day out here in Medford, Mass at Huskins Field.
A little chilly, but still great conditions for baseball. We've got some NESCAC play for you here. As you see the throw down there, looks like David is ready. Umpire cleans the plate and into the box. He's the leadoff hitter. Here is Pizzella, senior. He was hitting .327 going into the last game on the year. And I'm sure he increased that average with a big 2-home run outing. And he'll square up to bunt here, and he pulls it back. That's a ball. And there's first pitch of the game. And foul ball right there.
Outfield defense shifted a little bit towards right field here with Pizzella facing the hard-throwing David.
Yeah, Pizzella went opposite field for both of his home runs. And David, the righty, kicks and deals. And a swing and a shot over the third base line. Pizzella going to second. He'll get in there with a double. Slides into second. I don't know if he needed to, but a nice hit there, a leadoff hit for Nick Pizzella.
The Bantams coming out strong here with that leadoff hit, and interesting to note that might not have been a double if the outfield defense wasn't shifted so far towards right.
In for the Bantams now into the box, number 13, Johnny Stamatis.
Stamatis will be looking to hit the ball over to the right side here so he can advance the runner.
Stamatis swinging on the first pitch. Fouls that one off out of play. David is ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on that one. Now it's 0-2 to Stamatis. Stamatis, of course, hitting .302 on the season. 524 slugging, so he's a big extra base hitter. 10 of his 19 hits before the last game were all extra bases. And that's a ball, 1-2.
David staying away here. We'll see if that pitch sets up some hard stuff on the inside corner.
Not even worried about the speedy Pizzella at second there. He's a big base stealer. Has about 8 on the year. Doesn't look like he's thinking about third here. And Pizzella gets one on the ground. And then drops it. That's an error there as the throw pulls him off the bag. Not sure whether that's an error on the second baseman or on the first baseman. But either way, they have 2 men on now. First and third with no outs.
I'd have to give that error to the second baseman there. That throw, which should have been an easy play, was offline.
Yeah, we'll see if the scorer's table agrees with you.
So Trinity's immediately threatening to score a run here.
And throw over. He's safe.
The infield remains back here, so they'll concede the run and hope for a double play here.
If they get one on the ground. Here's the pitch to Brendan Pierce. That one's in there. It's a strike. 0-1. Brendan Pierce, sophomore, hitting .303 on the year. He was pinch hit, the 3-hitter in the last game, and in this game, of course, and he was pinch hit for late in the last game. Here's the pitch from David. He gets that one on the ground. Shortstop. And that one is safe. Pulling them off the bag again. And that's a run there for the Bantams. On the ground ball. A run scores. You get one out. You can't get the double play.
That was a good hard slide there to break up the double play. Made turning it much more difficult.
Now we have a 1-run lead here. Trinity 1-0 over the Tufts Jumbos. Daniel Pigeon, the senior, is now in for the Bantams. Swing and a miss on that one. An ugly pitch, and the runner's going. Did he get him? He's out. Great throw down there by the catcher. And Pierce is caught stealing.
Trinity trying to push the envelope there. That brings up the modern-day debate of whether attempting a steal is worth it. Of course, in traditional baseball circles, they certainly like to try to steal, but the modern analytics often find that stealing is not worth the risk.
Well, with one out, you got to think that if you have the speed, you might want to try it. That way you get yourself out of the double play. But who knows? Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes it doesn't pay off. 0-2 pitch to Pigeon. Here it is. That one's low. Ball 1. Here's another pitch from David. Smashes that one into the outfield, and it's into the corner. Looks like he'll have extra bases. Cooch gets it in. Pigeon is in there with a double with 2 outs. And see, this is where you may regret stealing with 1 out there. Might have had another run there. You might be up 2-0. But Brendan Pierce got caught stealing. Didn't have a runner on base. And Pigeon hit that double.
Bill James and Nate Silver might want to have a word with Bantams coach.
And here's the catcher, Scott Cullinane, the senior. Tufts, of course, switched their catchers. They have Schneff into the ball game, but Cullinane, the senior, taking both games as that's a ball. Cullinane batting .262 on the year, at least before the last game. Here's the pitch from David. That's in there. Strike. Count 1-1 now. 2 outs here. Andrew David looking to get out of it. He gets a sign. David kicks and deals. That one's low for a ball. Runner will not even think of going. He'll head back to second. Runner in scoring position here with 2 outs. Got a base open. A walk wouldn't be terrible here, but ideally you'd like to get out of the inning on this batter.
Absolutely, you want to keep that pitch count down.
Wind is blowing here. Here's a 2-1 pitch. And that's a grounder over to Moser. And no problem with that one. And they'll get out of it.
So a little bit of difficulty for David there, but escaping with just 1 run allowed is not that bad.
Cullinane is not happy with himself there. Kicking the dirt up a little bit in frustration. Nice inning there from David. That's 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error on the Jumbo side. The Bantams lead 1-0 here. As you'll see, the starter for the Bantams, number 31, Chris Spear. He's a junior. And he has a 4.32 ERA on season. Got 17 strikeouts in 16.2 innings. Sporting an 0-2 record on the year. He'll look to turn his fortunes around here in this one. Now, if you're Tufts, what are you thinking right now, Max? What are you, after letting up 1 run in the top of the first, are you a little discouraged even, or just looking to come out and score?
The Jumbos should not be discouraged at all. This is a very dynamic offense and a very good team here. So they should just be looking to get runners on and tie the game up and eventually take the lead. But there's plenty of baseball left to go here. So being down 1-0 in the bottom of the first should not be a problem for them.
And, of course, the top 4 batters are always a threat for the Jumbos. You got McCallum, and it's instead of actually Cooch, who is batting the bottom of the order, you have Harry Brown, who is one of the best hitters on this team by a long shot. Matt Moser batting third, and Tommy O'Hara, third baseman, batting cleanup once again. So if you're Chris Spear, pitcher for the Bantams, got to be a little careful with this top 4 of the order. I'm sure he'd be happy to set him down. Here is Cody McCallum, center fielder. And that's a ball outside. And that one is in there. That's a strike. At the knees right there. Count 1-1 now to McCallum. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's in there as well, 1-2.
Good off speed there by Spear.
McCallum's been taking a lot today, especially in the first game. Let's see if he tries to put the bat on the ball here. Here's the pitch from Spear. That is a ball. Good eye there from McCallum. Count 2-2 now. To the leadoff hitter. Here's the pitch. McCallum sends that one into the outfield. That's a base hit into right field. And Jumbos have their leadoff hitter on here to kick off the bottom of the first.
That's a beautiful piece of hitting there by McCallum. That pitch was up and away, and he went right with it, setting into right field for a base hit.
Now the left fielder, Harry Brown, in for the Jumbos. Brown going in. He had a few hits in the last game. Had an RBI. Went into the last game sporting a .429 average.
That, of course, leads the
And strike.
Jumbos. And over these past 2 games against Trinity, Brown has a home run and 4 RBI, so looking to continue his success here against the Bantams pitching.
7 stolen bases also on the season, so he's a threat on the base pass. And he sends that one foul, so count is 0-2. No outs here. Jumbos, I'm sure, would take pretty much anything but a double play. And there's the pickoff. Callum's back there safely. Doesn't even have to slide.
With the Brown speed, it'll have to be a tailor-made double play, though, in order to turn it.
Absolutely. Here's the 0-2 again from Spear. And that one's high level. Counts 1-2. Wind's picking up here once again. Here's the pitch. And he puts the bat on that one and sends it into the outfield. Left fielder has a beat on it, but he can't get to it. And that's an extra base hit. McCallum, of course, couldn't get a head start on it because he needed to make sure it wasn't caught. So he does not score, but now the Tufts has runners on second and third. No outs, excuse me.
And that's the benefit of not getting too worried, not panicking, of course. Is the team just going to come out and hit?
So the table setters are doing their job here. And here comes the 3-hitter, Matt Moser. Of course, Moser, the hero in the last game. First pitch of the bottom of the 8th inning in extras. As he grounds that one foul. Moser had a walk-off home run to win the game for the Jumbos. So let's see if he can work some more magic here. Swing and a miss on that one. Counts 0-2 now to Moser.
All Moser needs to do here is send one up into the air into the outfield or hit one hard on the ground because the
Sac
infield
fly
is
could be in order here.
absolutely.
That one's low.
That's a good eye there.
Risky take there, but a good eye. 1-2 now to Moser. Here's the pitch from Spear. And that one's low as well. Catcher's able to block it. Good job by him there. Good job by Cullinane, the senior catcher, to block that one and prevent a run. And here's the pitch. Sends that one into the outfield. Going back.
Nice carry.
Going back, and it gets to the wall. An extra base hit. 1 run scores. Harry Brown comes around to score. A 2-run double for Matt Moser. What a day. A walk-off home run, and now he has given his club the lead here. 2-1 Tufts here in the bottom of the first. Already got some runs on the board. Great first inning here. Still no outs here for Spear, and he's in a tough spot. Now he's got the cleanup hitter up. No outs, man on second. It's number 24, Tommy O'Hara.
And perhaps we're seeing why Spear is not one of the Bantams regulars on the mound. He's putting the pole over the plate, but the Jumbos are all over it right now.
Hopefully for the Bantams, Spear can regain his form and get out of this inning. He is in a jam right now. I mean, I know we only have 1 runner on base, but he's on second with no outs. He needs to put some guys down. Maybe get a strikeout here to O'Hara. Though I'm sure he wouldn't mind a ground ball. Maybe to second or short, so the runner can't go. Here is O'Hara. Spear is ready, the pitch. And that one's low. Again, a good block by Cullinane there. Cullinane, the senior catcher, he has some experience behind the plate.
Spear's thrown a couple of those breaking balls in the dirt already. If he wants to be effective, he's going to have to get that one over.
Yeah, no one's chasing those. Here's another extra pitch. O'Hara sends that one out. Going back at the wall. See ya! Tommy O'Hara, the cleanup hitter, sends one over the wall. And it is a 4-1 game. Tufts takes an even bigger lead now. Tommy O'Hara just crushed that one.
Well, after missing in the dirt, Spear came with a fastball belt high and right down the middle, and that was a no-doubter.
Absolutely. If you're Chris Spear, you gotta just keep on trucking. Don't let this get to you because Tufts is having a big inning right now. Here's the pitch by Spear. That's in there. Strike. Mike McLaughlin will be the batter. Another pitch in the dirt there. Another pitch in the dirt. 2-0 to McLaughlin now. And he gets contact on that one. That's going towards the corner. It is foul. Counts 2-2 now on McLaughlin. Spear is ready. He kicks and deals. Gets that one on the ground towards first, and it gets into the outfield. Another hit here for the Jumbos. Still no outs. Base hit right there for Mike McLaughlin. Getting ready, the designated hitter into the box now. That's Kevin Godin. He didn't play in the last game, but he'll get the start here. He's hitting .238 on the season. And only 21 at-bats.
And just like that, that'll be the end for Spear. He gives up hits to the first 5 Jumbo batters, and now he'll take a seat.
Yeah, that's got to be discouraging. 5 hits, 4 runs in an inning, and in comes the relief pitcher.
Unable to get even 1 out.
Yeah, absolutely demoralizing. Into the game for Trinity is number 3, McLean Hill. He's a sophomore. And he's throwing a 6.91 ERA, so that's up there right now. Tufts has already had their share of runs in the inning. Hopefully they don't give a little boost to this man's ERA as well.
Well, it's been a long couple of days here in this series, and Trinity seems to be working towards the back end of their pitching staff.
Yeah, absolutely. So the score is 4-1. We have a new pitcher in here for the Bantams. Chris Spear has to take a seat. They're giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, not getting a single out. So Hill has a record of 1-2 on the year in 14.1 innings pitched. And he has 15 strikeouts in those 14 innings.
One problem for him, though, seems to be walks. He's walked 9 in those 14 innings. Certainly not a good ratio there.
Look to keep that in check here. Godin steps in as the DH. He's batting from the right side. Here's the pitch to Godin. That's high and in. Ball 1. And it's a strike there. 1-1 to the designated hitter. That one's a strike in there. Count 1-2 now to Godin.
Letter high call on that one. That was a bit debatable there.
I'm sure Hill would love to have a strikeout right now. Umpire calls time. Hill is ready. He kicks and deals. Strike 3. Swing and a miss. Godin goes down on strikes. And that's the first out of the inning for the Bantams. Can you believe it? Into the box now for the Jumbos. 3, Tom Petrie, Jr. Another man who did not get a start in the last game. And he'll step into the box. Pitch from Hill. And he's bunting on the first pitch. So a nice sacrifice there, as his man will get to second on the sacrifice bunt.
That's a very interesting conservative strategy there by the Jumbos. Already up 3 runs, sacrificing the runner over to second there.
And it was a successful sacrifice. Into the box now, Oscar Cooch, lefty hitter.
And again, as we discussed last inning, the modern analytics versus traditional debate, bunting is another strategy that has come into question by the sabermetric people. And last inning we saw the sabermetricians justified in their findings. We'll see what happens here.
Absolutely we will. Here's Oscar Cooch. Hill is set. Pitch. And that one's a strike. That's in there. Count is 1-1 now to Oscar Cooch. Cooch in the last game was batting second. Now he's batting 8th. Good to have some great contact hitters at the bottom of your lineup. Here's the pitch. Did he go? Yep, that's a strike.
Well, that's the thing about this Jumbo's lineup is there's so much land to it. Cooch batting .327, and he's in the 8 hole right now.
Absolutely. And in the last game, that Harry Brown batting 6th, and he has a great average as well. Oh, and that hit him. He'll take his base. Takes one for the team there. Right in on the forearm. While he might not have wanted to walk there, did have an open base. So Eric Schreff will be into the ballgame. He's the catcher, replacing Tommy Frickman, who got the start at catcher last game. And there's a strike. Schreff. And that one's outside. Schneff looks at that one. It's 1-1. Hill has 2 outs, wants to get out of it. 2 men on. Here's the pitch. That one's outside as well. 2 balls and a strike.
Jumbo starter Andrew David is tossing over here on the side, just trying to stay loose with this long inning.
Here's the 2-1 pitch from Hill. He swings that one, sends it into the corner. Will he get to it? That's fair. And it's out of here. A little hard to see from here, but it's a home run. What do you know? Eric Schneff sends a home run into the right field corner, barely stays fair. Tufts takes a 7-1 lead, a 3-run home run from Eric Schneff.
The wind certainly coming to the Jumbo's advantage there. That one did not seem to have the distance.
Absolutely,
off
it got
the bat.
carried out of here.
And just squeaked over the fence in the right field corner.
I really thought that one was going to drop.
Right over that 309 side.
Right over there. Big difference in distance from center field to right field there. 309 all the way to 410. There's a pitch from Hill to McCallum. That one's low. 1-1.
Huskins is a bit of a lefty's paradise right now with the short porch and right and the wind blowing out there too.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of home runs over there. And here's another pitch to McCallum. That's high. 2-1. Here's another pitch with 2 outs. Callum puts a drive into that one. Center fielder chasing after it. Will he get to it? Yep, he will. And they finally get out of the inning. A 7-run inning for the Jumbos. And we were saying this offense is dynamic. They're electric. They can put up runs. That's exactly what we saw. Incredible inning from the Jumbos.
And that's certainly got to be heartbreaking for the Bantams. They got up to a 1-0 lead in the top half of the inning, looking to come out of this 3-game set with the Jumbos with at least one win, but now they're really behind the 8 ball, down 6.
Anything can happen, but Andrew David doesn't look like he's going to go down easy. So he gets set to pitch the second inning.
And it's always nice as a pitcher, especially with someone as good as David, to have your team give you a lead early. You can really pitch comfortably now.
Absolutely, especially a 6-run lead. Must be happy if you're Andrew David right now. David, the senior, sporting a nice beard there. As you see on your screen there. I don't know how well you can see, but he's got a nice set of facial hair. Hard-throwing righty out there on the mound. See if Trinity can crack the scoreboard once again, as they are down 6 to the Tufts Jumbos. Leading off for Trinity, the second baseman, Ben Reinich. Reinich just had a nice batting average going into this doubleheader. And there's a strike there, hitting .340. And that's a foul ball. Tipped it. Count 0-2. See if David can get the strikeout here. David throws pretty hard. If I'm him, maybe low outside fastball. See if you can get him to chase. And gives him the heater. Won't fall for it. Counts 1-2.
You go right back to that fastball if you want, or throw a breaking ball down and away, just like
Guys
last
have been swinging through the fastball. Let's see if he does it again. That's a little breaking ball in the dirt. Can't get him to swing. 2-2. Again, if I'm Andrew David, I'm just trying to relax right now. Got a nice lead. Just do your work. Foul tipped over behind the bleachers. Count's still 2-2. To Reinich. Here's the 2-2 pitch from David. Fouls that one off as well. So we'll try it again. Count's still 2-2.
Almost had Reinich there. He was really out in front of that changeup, but did a good job of keeping his hands back and fouling it off.
And there is a ball, apparently 3-2. So the wind's really starting to pick up here at Huskins Field. Here's the 3-2 pitch from David. And he sends that one on the ground. Can't get to it. It's right up the middle. It's a base hit for Reinich. And Trinity has a man on first. No outs.
That's a good at-bat there for Reinich. He fell behind in the count, worked it even, and able to come through with a base hit up the middle.
The box now, Daniel Pigeon has throw over. He is safe. Pigeon, of course, was a cleanup hitter in the last game. And there's a strike there.
Is that Pigeon or Chris Leach? I think that might be Leach up there.
I might have been reading the number wrong, if so I apologize. I don't think that's Leach, though. Actually, Jack Bennett is wearing number 8. He had a number change before the game.
Well, that would explain my confusion.
So if you're looking at a stat sheet like Max is here, you might see that Jack Bennett is number 20. Today he is not. He is wearing number 8. Timeout there. 0-1 to Bennett. no outs here, man on first. See if he can get something started here for the Bantams. Here's the 0-1 pitch from David. That's in there, strike 2. See if David can strike him out here. Maybe even get him to ground into a double play. Either way, keep it low. Here is David. Puts the bat on it, but it's foul. Over and out of play.
Those foul balls straight back are just itching to knock somebody in the head with people walking across back behind the field.
Yeah, with the lacrosse game getting out here just now, I'm sure there are going to be a bunch of people back there hoping no one gets hurt. Here's the 0-2 to Bennett again. Fouls that one off.
We'll see if we can get a score for you guys on that lax game, too.
They were winning last we checked, but you can probably go on your computers and look that up anyway. Checks first. Here's the pitch on 0-2 once again. And that one is a ball. 1-2 now to Bennett. And he sends that one out to center field. Callum is under it. And he's got it for the first out. So David gets Bennett to fly out to center field here. Into the box now for Trinity. Number 25, Ian Steckel, who was a pinch hitter in the last game. And he had a couple of hits, I believe. And a nice diving catch out in right field. Did he check that swing? No, he did not. It's a ball. Oh, it's a strike, rather. Excuse me.
That was a close one there.
Yeah, very close. I don't know if he broke the plane.
If I'm Steckel,
from my angle, it looked like he didn't go around, but the umpire says differently.
I would agree. If I'm Steckel, I'm not too happy about that strike call right there.
And a throw over to first. He's safe. We do have some news from the lacrosse game. It's Tufts wins 16-11. So congratulations to Tufts. They beat Amherst in that game. Big next cat game for lacrosse.
Yeah, Tufts Lax just continues their dominance within the conference. And in D3 for that matter.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's a ball to Steckel. And strike 3. He swings right through it. That's the second out there.
Beauty of a change up there from David. Completely fooled him.
In the box now for Trinity, Nick DiBenedetto, number 5. There's a strike there.
DiBenedetto is sporting some really long locks there. It'll protect him against the wind, I guess.
DiBenedetto hitting .320 on the season going into the last game. And he gets one on the ground there, and it gets into the outfield. Reinish rounding second. He'll get into third. Will he try for home? No, stop. As the ball gets back into the infield. And now maybe some trouble here with 2 outs. So they got first and third. You'd like to get at least 1 run in this inning, especially down 6 like they are now. I don't think they want anyone else in the box right now but Nick Pizzella, who had 2 home runs in the last game. He was playing shortstop in the last game. He's in center field now, apparently. So he's a really dynamic player. And we know he can hit the long ball. That one is strike in there. Looks like it might have been outside, but hard to tell from this angle.
And Pizzella led this one off with a double down the left field line. We'll see what type of approach he takes here.
Counts 0-1. David checks first. And pitch. Puts that one on the ground towards short. Moser bobbles it a little, and the run will score. Trinity cuts the lead to 5 now, and they have men on first and second with 2 outs. So a tough play for Moser, can't pick it up.
Yeah, it's tough luck for the Jumbos there. David, again, a very good changeup there, got him way out in front, but the ball was hit so softly. And
Johnny Stamatis, the freshman first baseman.
And in the hole in between third and short, tough play for the shortstop to make.
Yeah, I'll probably count that as a hit on the scorer's table as Stamatis swings through the first pitch. Stamatis, of course, the 2-hitter for the Bantams, scores a lot of runs, has 18 on the year. Here's the 0-1 pitch from David. Swings through that one. Strike 2. David certainly would like to get out of this one. David sets. Here's the pitch. He pops that one up. Over in foul territory on the third base line. Ooh, and can't get to it and takes a dive over the fence. Does O'Hara. That would have been an amazing play if he was able to catch that. I don't think any of us here blame him for not being able to. That was a hard catch to make. Went right over the fence. Great effort there from O'Hara.
Just a good max effort there. Almost able to come up with it. Just couldn't squeeze it there.
Maximum effort for sure. Here's the 0-2 pitch once again from David. 2 outs, looking to close it out. See if he can get a strikeout. No, that one's low. Ball 1. Tufts dugout cheering David on right here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Oh, he steps off. David gets set again. Gets a signal. Ready for the 1-2. Here it is. Puts the bat on that one once again. O'Hara in foul territory. He gets that one, no problem. Doesn't have to dive over the fence there. And they're out of it. With only 1 run. 7-2 now the score. Not an insurmountable lead, but certainly still a big one. Tufts is up by 5.
We got a nice crowd out here today for both sides. Stands are pretty much filled up.
Clayton Hill will be back on the hump for the Bantams. After letting up 3 runs in the first inning after Chris Spears 4 runs. Of course, those 3 runs coming on that big home run from Eric Schneff.
Hill seemed to have a little bit more success against the Jumbos than Spear did. Of course, Spear wasn't able to get anyone out. So anything would have been an improvement over him.
Absolutely. It's always upsetting when you let a bunch of runs on one hit, especially a 3-run home run. Into the box for the Jumbos, number 15, the left fielder, Harry Brown. Clayton Hill sets. And that one's low, that's a ball. Hill, of course, a lefty, has a bit of a disadvantage against great righty hitters like Harry Brown. And that one's outside. Two and out count to Brown, now here it is. And he fouls that one off. Swinging on 2-0 there. Now it's 2-1.
Brown was right on that one, fouled it straight back.
Here's another pitch from Hill. Hill fouls it back again. Now we'll have 2-2. Here for the left fielder. Just a pitch from Hill on 2-2. So he pops that one out up to right field. And he's under it. That's the first out. So Brown flies out and into the box steps Matt Moser. Moser had a 2-run double in the first inning. Can't ask much more of Matt Moser than what he has done in these 2 games today. He's been hitting great. That ball's low, 1-0. Again, the wind really becoming a factor here as it is blowing like crazy. And there's a strike, count 1-1 on Moser. And if you're McLean Hill, this is an at-bat you need to get through. He was able to strike out Moser, get him to ground out. I'm sure he'd be pleased with that. And 1-1 pitch is low, ball 2. And that one's in there, down at the knees. Strike 2, 2-2 count now with 1 out. Hill kicks and deals. And he hits that one into left field, but right at the left fielder. No chance of that one getting down, and that is out number 2. So here's Tommy O'Hara, the third baseman. Took a dive into the bullpen last half inning. Strike there.
And also had a long home run in his first at bat.
2-run home run in the first inning. This is really batted around quite a bit. I mean, that's what happens when you score 7 runs in an inning. There's a ball there, 1-1. Here's the pitch to O'Hara. Skies that one. Over towards short. No problem there for Benedetto. And Trinity gets out of it without a scratch. So still 7-2 for the Jumbos. And my partner Max will take a seat. After the my partner Max will take a seat. We'll welcome Alec Whipple, who's doing his first baseball broadcast with us.
Thanks, Brad. Glad to be here.
David's getting warmed up here. Now, Alec, you've been sitting here watching. What have you seen from the Jumbos defense and pitching in the first few innings?
Well, I think once the Jumbos get out to a big lead, it's easy to just kind of sit back and let the Bantams, kind of just hit. But I think the Jumbos need to be attacking a little more. David, he's gotten into some good counts, but Bantams have been fouling the ball off, making them work for it. And just a few good innings, I think, would put this game away. But we'll see. Trinity could come back and look like they have some good at-bats in them.
And in the first 2 innings, they scored a run in each one. And Tufts wasn't exactly putting up a fight, really. I mean, they had a man on third, and they kind of played the infield back, let the ground ball go.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you have to start kind of going after them, trying to get guys to strike out so you don't get as many runners on base.
Exactly.
A five-run lead can disappear.
I think David's done a good job. He's bent, but he hasn't broken. So still got a 5-run lead, and we'll see what the rest of this game holds for the Jumbos.
Into the box now, Brendan Pierce for the Bantams. Here's first pitch for Pierce. That one's low. One and 0 now. To the 3-hitter Pierce. Here's David on 1-0. And he sends that one to the outfield. Looks like it's going to get down. And he'll have extra bases here. As he gets in a second, the throw is offline. So he'll be able to slide in there easily. That's a double. Well, the ump called it foul. But Pierce seemed to think that, and all the fielders seemed to think that they had a fair ball there. So Pierce will go back and try again.
Jumbo's catching a break there. That ball would have been a double, as we saw.
That looked fair to me. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't right there like the ump was, but
It looked foul, but could have gone either way, and we have the call, I guess.
and we'll see the Bantams manager conversation there. Not happy that the ump called that one foul. I'm sure Brandon Pierce isn't either. He would have had extra bases.
Definitely a borderline call. I think umpire just went with his gut there and could have gone either way.
Yeah, a little difficult to tell again from where we're standing, but again, we'll trust the umps on this one. That one was a foul ball. Pierce will try again. Count 1-1.
Definitely frustrating for Trinity when you're down this big. You know, you want every hit you can get, and when that's taken away, you're only gonna have to fight harder. Open. Got an argument now.
Got a big argument right there. The manager's screaming in the umpire's face. He's not happy. Let's see if he'll get thrown out of the game now. Definitely very possible.
Frustrating for Trinity after the last two games. And
After
now
going down 5 runs here.
yeah, emotion's starting to come out.
So he'll go back to the dugout. And he's still not happy. And Pierce is arguing now. He's not done.
I question the value of this. You know, when you're down this big, this is only hurting your team morale.
Absolutely.
I think it's just better to keep a level head and try to come back instead of almost making a fool of yourself out there.
Obviously, it's frustrating to. You think you have a double, you slide in there, you feel good about yourself for a second, and then they change the call up on you. But at the end of the day, it's more important for you and for the rest of the team. It looks like the third base coach trying to keep him steady there. Yeah, if I'm the manager, like, yes, I want to be defending my players, but you also want to set an example. I mean,
Well, of course.
getting in the umpire's face like that, I just think that's kind of uncalled for.
Of course, especially on a play that really could have gone either way. I mean, that wasn't like a big blown call by the umpire. It really was a judgment call, you know. No use getting angry of something that really wasn't that big of a mistake.
Tufts not letting it distract them. David staying warm and some throws in with the infield. Pierce still having a word with the umpire. This just keeps going.
I think today on a cold day like this, you just want to, if you're Tufts or Trinity, you want to start playing, you know. But everyone's getting their 2 cents in.
Looks like it was about to get a little heated between the ump and Pierce there. But looks like he'll get his gloves back on. Take his bat anyway.
A little excitement to spice up the...
Yeah, a little bit. At the end of the day, we want to see some baseball.
Oh, of course.
Let's get it going. Here's the pitch from David. Fouls that one off. Count 1 and 2 now.
Again, Davis is having a tough time putting Trinity hitters away. Lots of foul balls.
Tufts bench players having some fun chasing after the fly balls there. Here's the pitch from David on 1 and 2. And he sends that one, and now he's got his hit. Must be happy with that after that whole spiel there. Pierce gets a base hit. Now they have a run around with no outs.
If you're Trinity, you want to build off this after a little emotion. You know, build off the emotion and
maybe
start
yelling at
getting
the
guys
umpire got him the confidence
Yeah.
he needed. Here's number 9, Daniel Pigeon now in the box for Trinity. David throws over to first. He's in there safely. First pitch is tipped. That's first strike.
Lots of emotion on the Tufts bench here. Definitely getting behind their pitcher.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's low. Called a strike. Looked like it was below the knees there, but umpire says it's in there. Count 0-2 now on Pigeon, the cleanup hitter. David trying to get the strike out here. Throws over to first. Safe again. Got to keep it low here if you're Andrew David. Here's the pitch. That's exactly what he does. It's a little too low. So 1-2 now on Pigeon.
He's in a good count here. We'll see if he can put out this hitter.
Here's the 1-2 pitch from David. It's low again. Count 2-2 now. Here's the 2-2. David. Pigeon sends that one out over to right field, and that one's going to go over the wall.
Wow.
Daniel Pigeon, a home run. That one flies out of here off of the bat of Pigeon.
You cannot be too happy right now if you're Andrew David.
Absolutely. All of a sudden, we got a game here. 7-4. Only a 3-run lead here for the Jumbos. After all that has happened this inning, that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, Trinity has to be psyched right now after that little argument and getting some guys on. They're creeping closer. Again, David could not put the hitter away.
He's barely over the wall, but nevertheless, it's a home run. Nice hit there from Daniel Pigeon. In the box now, number 24, that's Scott Cullinane, catcher. First pitch to Cullinane. That's a strike in there. Tried to check the swing, but it doesn't matter.
Definitely seems like the momentum shifted a little bit here, wouldn't you say, Brad?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a 6-run lead. Now it's a 3-run lead. Little tension here now on both sides. Tufts winning 7-4. Of course, that was the final score of the first game of the series yesterday. I'm sure Tufts will be happy to have that same result here and finish off the sweep. Scott Cullinane hitting .262 on the season going into this doubleheader. Here is the 0-2 from David. And that one's low and past the catcher. Luckily, no one's on base. Count 1-2 now on Cullinane.
See if David can put these last couple of at-bats behind him and getting out here.
That one's low as well. 2-2 now. He's getting himself into a lot of 2-ball, 2-strike counts.
Seems when David hits 2 strikes, he keeps missing low, trying to get him to chase the low pitch. Hasn't had success on getting it out that way.
You got no one on base right now, no outs, go after him. That's what I say.
Exactly.
Here's David on 2-2. Puts that one at the knees, but it's low. Full count now. Again, you got to put this one in the strike zone. A walk here would not be ideal for the Jumbos.
No, it would not.
It's the pitch from David. Fouls that one off. Doesn't like he may hit off his foot there. He's wincing in pain.
That's gotta hurt. Fouling off a ball off yourself. Never a good feeling.
Fix his shin guard there. Full count now on the senior catcher. David sets. Here's the pitch. That one's high. It's a walk.
That is just a devastating at-bat. You come in with 2 strikes and you just give it up. I mean, nothing.
Yeah, way to work the count, though, on the part of Scott Cullinane.
Oh,
great
exactly. Trinity taking some great at-bats right now. Great hitting by them. After being down 7-1, they've really come back, and they're playing much better baseball.
Very true. He's number 16. That's Reinich, second baseman for the Bantams, as that one's strike.
Still no outs in the inning. Very eventful, and lots of Trinity runners and no outs.
David's ready on 0-1. Swings through that one, so we finally got him to chase the low ball there.
Yeah.
0-2 now once again for David. Let's see if he can finish off this batter. Oh, and 2 now to Reinich, the freshman. David will step off here.
I think David just needs to record an out, get his confidence back, and get himself on the right track.
Here's the 0-2 again. Sends that one over to third. Moser gets it. Can't get the runner at second. He's safe. Still no outs.
Wow.
Runners on first and second now. Not a great inning if you're the Jumbos. Got the home run, and now still not a single out in the inning. Got 2 runners on base.
I think that would have been a tough play to try to get him at first, and just to throw the second was too late. So unfortunately, that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, if O'Hara was able to get a glove on it at third, then
yeah.
As we'll see David coming off the mound here, he'll take a seat. So after only 3 innings of work, two full innings of work.
Stake
have
to
a new pitcher.
Stake to a big lead there, and unfortunately, he just couldn't put people away.
David, who's usually lights out, came into the game with a 1.4 ERA. Not able to stay in the game, and we'll have a new pitcher. That's Ian Kinney, number 33. He's a sophomore. Sporting a 4.5 ERA on the season in 10 innings of work. 8 hits in those 10 innings. And 4 walks.
And probably the tying run is now coming to the plate for Trinity, and that would have been really unthinkable 2 innings ago. I mean, they've really turned it around here.
See if Kinney can close him out here. Maybe induce a double play. Try to get the momentum back for Tufts. Looks like the next batter for Trinity will be number 8, Jack Bennett. Bennett, of course, in yesterday's game had a pinch hit home run. Bennett steps in the box as Schneff has a conversation with Kenny.
2 runners on, maybe we'll see a sacrifice bunt here, possibly.
Wouldn't be implausible, but we'll see. Maybe he'll try to swing, get something into the outfield here. Here's the first pitch to Bennett. And that one's low and outside. No swing, and that's ball 1. Bantams have really been working the count here. Let's see if he can get another ball. And he swings at that one and fouls it off. So 1-1 now to Bennett. Bennett is a junior. Comes into this doubleheader with 2.14 ERA. 313 on base and 500 slugging.
Big spot for him here.
Absolutely. And that one's low. 2-1 now. If he could work a walk here, wouldn't that be something? Bring up the bases loaded. See if Kenny can avoid it.
Got a favorable count.
Bennett puts the bat on it, going out to left field. Giving chase. Can't get to it. A great effort there from Harry Brown. Cannot get the glove under the ball in time.
He looked like he had a read on it, but at the end he just couldn't finish it.
Got some great speed out there in the left,
yeah.
But not able to get to it. Then he'll try again. Now 2-2 with no outs. Now if you're Kenny, want to probably keep the ball pretty low here. Try to either induce a double play or get him to swing for a strikeout. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Kenny. Bennett's down on strikes.
Big strikeout for Tufts. That trying to reverse the momentum that Trinity's got is crucial for them. Trying to keep their lead here. Keep the deficit at 3 for Trinity.
Here's Ian Steckel, the freshman. It's a ball there. It's 1-0. No pitch from Kenny. Here it is. Puts the ball on that one, and it's a line out, and they'll get him. Nice play there. Double play for the Jumbos right into the glove of O'Hara, and heads up play, throws it to second to get the runner not tagging.
It's a nice double play by the Jumbos. Really a good turnaround for them. After no outs, 2 on, they don't give up any more runs. Trinity definitely did some damage that inning, but they Tufts managed to limit it in the end.
Yeah, 2-run inning, 7-4 now. Back onto the mound, McLean Hill.
Looks like we got a slugfest here today. 11 total runs so far, and we're only in the 3rd.
The last game was 5-4 as well, so it's a lot of runs. 20 on the day, these 2 games combined.
How do you think they're feeling right now after being in the 2nd game? You know, feeling fatigued maybe?
Well, I mean, the first game went to extras, but they have to be relieved because how this works is normally in a doubleheader you'd have a 7-inning game and a 9-inning game. Now, since the 7-inning game went into extras, we got another 7-inning game here. So, yeah, I mean, the fatigue does probably get to you, but they switched the starters around. A lot of guys who played the first game are getting a rest, and a lot of guys who didn't get to play the first game are playing now. So, and they must be happy that this is only a 7th-inning game now here.
I'm sure if Tufts comes away with 2 wins, they won't be feeling too fatigued at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Hill's getting his warm-ups in here. The outfielder for the Jumbos will be Mike McLaughlin, first baseman. McLaughlin will step into the box. He looks ready. Behind him, batting next will be number 28, Kevin Godin. We'll see what McLean Hill can do here for the Bantams. Here's a strike in there.
If Hill can put up a clean inning here, be good for Trinity. After they put up some runs, let's put them down and let them score some more.
That's a grounder over to second. Should be an easy play. Gets that one to the first baseman. That's it out. Nice play there from Reinisch. And a good job, of course, by Hill to induce that ground out. See if we can keep the momentum here as Godin steps into the box. Kevin Godin, freshman.
I think the biggest thing is just
Getting
the offense back out there for Trinity and let them score more. Just want to keep the line going. They've had a couple of good innings so far. Each side has.
1-0 to the senior. The next pitch. That's in there as well. Oh, excuse me. 1-1. This has been a long game so far, hasn't it, Alec?
Oh, it has.
Especially the last half inning. That's a ball there.
I think
2-1 now.
Definitely longer for the pitchers, I'd say. I think if you're offense and you're hitting like this, you could hit all day.
Here's Hill again. That one's outside. 3-1. Three-one pitch from Hill. Here it is. Swings through that one. A full count now on Godin. Hill steps off here. Full count, 1 out. Looking to put Godin away. Here is the pitch. Swings at that one, sends it foul. We'll do it again, full count.
Definitely lengthy at-bats from both sides. Lots of full counts. Lots
Absolutely.
of foul balls.
Making the pitchers work. Even if you're not getting guys on base, that's what you want to do. Make the pitcher work so your other guys can get to them when they start to get tired. And that's a ball. Great eye there from Kevin Godin, experienced fourth-year player. Tom Petrie now into the box for the Jumbos. He'll have 1 out and 1 man on first. Oscar Cooch is on deck. Here's the pitch to Petrie from Hill. Fouls that one off. Hill's ready again. He kicks and deals. That one is below the knees. It's a ball, 1-1. 1 out if you're Trinity. Really hoping for a ground ball here. Try to get that double play.
That'd be huge.
Here it is. That one's low as well. 2-1. Probably the last thing you want to do is walk a guy or let up a hit.
I think at this point, you just want to induce some contact, have some quick at-bats.
Ooh, swings through that one. 2-2.
Or throw some good pitches, get some swings and misses.
Strikeout would be, they'd certainly take that on the Bantam side. Here's Petrie on 2-2. Hill's ready, the pitch. Sends that one foul through the bushes. Oscar Kutch is staying busy over there, getting the foul balls.
Lots of foul balls stay straight back. Hitters have been very, very close to the pitches. Haven't gotten all of them, but they've been on a lot of them.
That's why we had the backstop right there. And he sends that one into the outfield. That's a base hit. Godin won't try for third. Stays at second.
Nice piece of hitting there.
Great hit there from Petrie. And that'll bring up Oscar Cooch.
Now for Tufts, if they put up some runs here, it'd be big because they'd be basically, in effect, stepping down on the Trinity comeback. And, you have to feel good if you can put up 2 runs. Or even a run, would reverse the momentum. All about momentum in baseball.
Here's Cooch, the right fielder. He's a little bit of an obvious pickoff there. He'll turn and wait a second before he threw, so easy for Godin to get back there. You have to be careful still if you're base runner at second. You're an important runner. Here's Hill, pitch to Cooch. Cooch swings through that one. Count 0-1 now. Here's Hill on 0-1. Cooch swings through it again. And the throw down, not in time. Godin's able to slide back in safely.
Tough base runners creating a bit of a distraction for Trinity fielders and pitcher. It's got to be tough to be a pitcher focusing on the base runners and the batter. Lots of things on your mind.
If you're McLean Hill right now, a strikeout or a grounder, either one works. Here it is, the 0-2 pitch. Oh, and a strike 3 called. Swing and a miss.
It's a good
Oscar Cooch down on strikes.
Good sequence of pitches there. 1, 2, 3. 3 swings, 3 misses, and you have your second out.
Here comes number 25, Eric Schneef. Had a 3-run home run in the first inning, if you'll recall. He'll get another at bat here, the bottom of the third. Can you believe it's only the bottom of the third?
I cannot.
A lot of baseball played so far.
On a very windy day here in Medford.
Here's the pitch from Hill. That one's high. Count 1-0 on Schneef. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's outside. 2-0.
It's got to be on the back of the pitcher's mind, keeping the ball away, trying not to let him get good contact and elevate something. The wind could take it anywhere.
That's outside as well. Catcher up and ready to throw, but it's a 3. Excuse me. Umpire called that a strike, 2-1. Looked a little outside to me, but again, it's hard to tell from this angle. Puts the bat on that one with 2 outs. A little blooper into right field. Did he make the catch? He did.
Wow.
What a catch there on the dive.
Cover a lot of ground on that one.
Nice play there by the Bantams. It looks like Pierce out there in right field. Great play. And that's the 3rd out. So the threat does not come to pass. The Jumbos get out of that inning without scoring. Still 7-4 Jumbos.
Tufts had some good at-bats, but ultimately couldn't push a run across. And
Ian Kinney will still be on the mound here.
see what the rest of this game holds, but so far it's definitely been a back-and-forth affair. Tufts hasn't scored since their opening 7-run outburst.
And that was a great play to end the inning just now.
That was.
Looked like it might have been a bloop hit. Maybe had the bases loaded with 2 outs. That would have been a crazy at bat with Cody McCallum, the leadoff hitter, coming up. But great catch by Pierce.
Yeah, definitely.
Inning.
As you said, Trinity trying to put them away before that top of the order came up, and we saw what that top of the order could do.
As you see, Tufts has a few guys ready in the bullpen, just in case. That's what happens when you have a relief pitcher in early.
Yeah, they could not have expected this outing, the outing that David gave. They're probably expecting a little bit more from him, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, he's their ace. He's their best pitcher. When he goes out there, you expect him to, throw 5-6 innings at least, and just must be upsetting. But
offense has picked him up.
Yeah, absolutely. They still have the lead, 3-run lead here. It's a strike there. Nick DiBenedetto is the batter for Trinity. Some nice luscious locks there. Sporting the long hair. Here's Kinney. Puts the bat on that one, sends it to left field. Harry Brown giving chase. He gets under it and makes the catch.
Covered a lot of ground there, but he got his read and he got the ball. Good job.
That's why you want one of your faster fielders in left field. Harry Brown does one of those. In the box now for Trinity. Number 6, Nick Pizzella. Center fielder in this game, as we mentioned. And that's a strike. Count 0-1. And that one's in there as well. Nice pitch from Kinney. Count 0-2 now on Pizzella. And that one's in the dirt. Won't try for it. Count 1-2 now. Looking for the strikeout here is Kenny. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that one's in there. He's down looking.
Nice pitch.
Great pitch there.
Froze him, and he had no chance.
Now here's Johnny Stamatis, first baseman, freshman.
Tufts looking for their first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Be a big pick-me-up, trying to get to the end and maintain the lead.
Some nice pitching so far in this inning from Ian Kinney as he just gets the strikeout on Pizzella. Here's the first pitch. And that one passes the catcher. Count 1-0. Stamatis with a 1-0 count here. Let's see if he can get something going for Trinity. That one's low as well. Good eye there. 2-0 now to Stamatis. puts the bat on that one.
Gonna be a tough play.
Oh, tough play there for Moser. Can't keep it in his glove. He bobbles it. Doesn't look happy with himself there.
Not the best day for Moser at shortstop, although he has had a pretty good day at the plate. So
Very good day at the plate, I would say.
I think that evens out. But yeah, he certainly hasn't let his fielding affect his at bat so far.
Yeah, he got a couple tough plays out there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they'll count that as an error. But anyway, they have a man on base and they'll throw over. Still made it back safely. Batter for Trinity will be Brandon Pierce. He had a single in his last at bat after a long argument with the umpires. Well, you have to wonder if that long break had anything to do with that's a ball there. Anything to do with Andrew David kind of collapsing there in that inning.
Definitely a possibility, especially in the cold weather, especially for a pitcher. You know, the importance of keeping your arm warm, I think, can't be understated.
Kenny throws over to first again. Just made it back safely.
You also have to wonder if that first 7-run outburst kind of had the same effect. Maybe, you know, sitting for a while kind of threw him off his rhythm.
Either way, score 7-4 now. And that one is a strike. Trinity actually has 9 hits on the game. Kind of crazy that Tufts with 7 hits has scored 7 runs. And Trinity on 9, only 4 runs. Kenny throws over again. Got a high-scoring game here. 11 runs between these two teams. Trinity trying to come back here. 2 outs. Here's the 1-1 from Kenny. And that one is just a ball. A little high. Maybe just above his chest. Two one now. Here's the delivery from Kenny. And he swings through that one. Counts now 2-2 with 2 outs.
Blew that one right by him.
And that one's in the dirt. Counts full now. And Brendan Pierce, the 3-hitter for the Bantams. After you're the pitcher here, you have to put one in the strike zone, right, Alec?
Oh, yeah. Importance of this at bat. Definitely, you don't want Trinity having 2 guys on and bringing up the tying run again. Just want to get out of it and get your hitters back to the plate. I think walking them definitely would not be an ideal situation here. Or giving up a hit.
This is an important at bat here for Ian Kenny. Here's the pitch. Runner's going, and he walked him. Trinity now has 2 men on, and here comes Daniel Pigeon, the cleanup hitter. Of course, he's always a threat to go deep. He had a home run in that big inning.
Looked like Tufts was going to get the 1-2-3 inning, but the error by Moser and now the walk, and we got 2 guys on. We'll see what happens.
You have to be careful with Pigeon here. Here's the first pitch from Kenny. As he gets set. And that one is in there as he won't swing at it. Count 0-1.
Big spot in the game here with a threat like Pigeon, 2 guys on.
One thing's for sure, Kenny cannot afford to leave one up.
No, he cannot.
Let him get the bat on it. And he induces a grounder here to second as a run over. And he is out. He gets the force. And they get out of it without any damage. Score is still 7-4 after this half inning.
A little bit of trouble there for Kenny, but in the end, keeps the Bantams scoreless for another inning. Exactly what you want when you're Tufts.
Tufts will have a team meeting here.
What do you think they could be talking about?
I don't know. Well, I think coach has got to be saying we can't be comfortable with this 3-run lead. We can't get settled in there and like expect that we're going to win. We have to go out, keep swinging the bat, keep trying to score.
Definitely. And for a game that they were leading by 6 runs after the first inning, it's been a lot closer over the last few innings. You know,
A
few
lot
more
of
runs.
tension.
Few more runs, it can make it a little more breathing room for Tufts.
Well, he wants his guy. I'm sure he wants his guys to be loose and to be ready. He does not want them to be too relaxed. When you get relaxed, you lose the lead.
I definitely think after a long day of baseball, you have to maintain focus. We've seen it slip a little bit, but still have the lead, so you're in an ideal position if you're Tufts. If you're Trinity, just trying to keep Tufts scoreless and get back up there. Get some guys on and score some runs.
McLean Hill, of course, still in the ball game. But he got a nice outing here after that 3-run home run in the first. He's let up a few runners on base, but no runs since that big first inning. He's kept the lead as small as possible.
And if Trinity comes back, he'll be a big reason why he's shut Tufts down in the last few innings. We'll see if they can get anything going here.
Here's Cody McCallum, the center fielder, and the leadoff hitter for the Jumbos. It's the first pitch to him. And that one is outside. Call for a ball. Counts 1-0 on McCallum. Here's the next pitch, and he puts the bat on it and sends it right into center field. It's a base hit for the leadoff hitter, McCallum. Takes a big turn around first. He won't try for second. He's got a base hit.
Nice solid piece of hitting there. Got a runner on base, and got some good hitters coming up.
Guy with McCallum's speed, you got to be thinking he's taking a big lead here, trying to distract the pitcher maybe.
If he could get himself into scoring position, that would be even better for Tufts.
Kind of difficult with a lefty there.
Oh, yeah.
Has an easy pickoff. And that's a ball there. And he fouls that one off. Count 1-1 now. One pitch from Hill. Here it comes. It's hard to tell when Hill's about to pitch. He has a very short stride there. As you can see, there's barely any really leg kick. Just kind of goes right into it. Fouls that one off. Still 1-2. And if you're Tufts right now, you want Harry Brown up with a runner on. He's a dangerous hitter.
Definitely being aggressive, swinging at pitches and just missing them.
And he fouls that one off again. Really making Hill work here. Don't have a pitch count. I wonder how many he's thrown. Pitched three full innings. Excuse me, actually. Yeah, he had 3 outs in the first inning, right? Because Spear didn't get a single out, so yeah, Hill's had a lot of work. He's gotten 3 full innings so far. Looking to get an out here. And that's a ball. Got 2-2 now. Here's the pitch. He gets the bat on that one, sends it into the outfield. Again, the table setters are doing their work here. The first and second hitters are getting on. And here comes Matt Moser.
Exactly what you want when you're Tufts. You want your top of the order guys to get on. You want your middle of the order guys to drive them in. Successful formula for any baseball team in any league, I'd say. Especially when you have some talented hitters in the middle of the order like Matt Moser.
You got to think they might be bringing a fresh pitcher here, and or just having a crucially important conversation with Hill, because he's about to face Matt Moser, and if he's somehow able to get Moser out, behind him is Tommy O'Hara. Difficult spot to be in.
Moser's a good hitter. What do you think the play is here? Do you think aggressively pitching or trying to stay away from him? I mean, you're not in a good situation right now if you're Hill.
I mean, I wouldn't pitch around him per se, but I would still try to keep the ball low. I mean, a ground out could get 2 outs for you. Even if you have the runner at third, you take that. I wouldn't leave one up for him, but I wouldn't pitch around him either, is what I'd say. And here's the first pitch to Moser. That one's low. Ball 1. A walk, I think, would just be a horrible scenario for Hill. I mean, bases loaded, no outs, Tommy O'Hara up, and he could take you deep, so Moser puts the bat on that one. That one's foul, out of play.
See some action in the Trinity bullpen. You might have to think, Moser gets on. This could be it for Hill.
And Hill's thrown a lot of pitches so far. Here's the third pitch to Moser. Count 1-1. And he's squaring up to bunt now. Gets away from the catcher. That's a ball as he pulls it back.
Interesting move there. I wouldn't really think that's the move with a 3-run lead and a hitter as talented as him, but maybe just try and keep pitcher on his feet.
Moser did the same thing in the first inning. Bunted to get the. I think it was the same situation. The first inning of the last game. He was up in the same situation. First and second hitters were on, no outs, and he bunted to get them both in scoring position. Not quite sure if they scored a run, but it was a successful sacrifice. And he's not swinging there, not bunting either. That's 3-1.
Dangerous count right now for Hill. One more pitch and bases are loaded.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's vitally important for the Bantams. And that one is outside.
Wow. Hill is not happy with
Ducks
himself.
on the pond for the Jumbos. And here comes Tommy O'Hara.
Looks like that might be it for Hill.
You got to think that they would bring in someone right now. If not, Hill has a tough situation. Whoever's going to be on the mound is going to have a tough situation. Tommy O'Hara up, no outs, bases loaded. They'd be fortunate to get out of this inning without a run or two scoring, at least.
Overall, a pretty uneven outing for Hill, I'd say. Started off rough, then had a solid middle, but definitely not the way you want to leave the relief pitcher coming in. You don't want to leave this scenario for him.
So Hill comes out of the game. New pitcher on for Trinity now, so warm up. Sheik Cardinillo will be in. He's the pitcher now. Richie Cardillo is a freshman, sporting a 4.15 ERA. Cardillo has 7 walks and 5 strikeouts in his 13 innings of work this season. He's let up 6 runs, 6 earned runs, 13 runs total. A lot of errors, pretty unlucky for number 28, Cardillo.
Big spot here. If the Bantams want to salvage this series, they really, really need to limit the damage here.
Tufts has a 3-run lead. They could make it a lot bigger here.
O'Hara's definitely got to be looking for when he can drive. Obviously, this game, it's already seen a home run by him. See if it can happen again.
Here's the first pitch from Cardillo today. That one's low. That's a ball. What else can you do but keep it low at this point? Here's the 0-1. First pitch was a strike, excuse me. That one is a ball, so count is 1-1. Throwing over to second. He's safe. Good pickoff attempt there from Cardillo.
Almost had him.
Count is 1-1 to O'Hara. This is a big at bat here, as we said. No outs, bases loaded to the cleanup hitter. Here's the pitch from Cardillo. Gets the bat on that one. Grounds a foul.
Cardillo can put the O'Hara away in this big spot. That would be very, very big for the Bantams.
Cardillo sets. Count 1-2 to O'Hara. Here's the pitch. That one's low. Ball gets away. No one will try it.
Good job keeping the ball in front of him there.
1, 2, and 3 hitters are on the bases. This is the exact situation you want for your cleanup hitter. That's why they bat fourth. Here is 2-2 pitch to O'Hara. Cardillo kicks and deals. As he puts a charge into that one, out to center field. He's under it, makes the catch. The runners in second or third will tag. The run scores. Score is 8-4 now in favor of the Jumbos.
Good heads up base running there, getting to third now. 1 out and a runner on third. Another fly ball, elevate something, and get another run home.
Nice hit there from O'Hara. Gets the sacrifice, gets an RBI.
Even though it didn't get down, it's a productive out. Definitely with a lead, just want to keep tacking on if you're the Jumbos. Not a bad outcome there.
And they still have a runner in scoring position here. With only 1 out. And up to the plate steps Dan Kelly. It's Mike McLaughlin, excuse me. Dan Kelly is sitting out for this game. Here's McLaughlin, the first baseman. That one's strike. Looks like the Jumbos will have a pinch hitter. Stephen White is in the on-deck circle warming up. Here's McLaughlin fouls that one off. 0-2 now on him. 1 out of strikeout would be huge now for Cardillo and the Bantams. Here's the 0-2 to McLaughlin. That one's low, and it gets by. And they'll try to score here, and they'll score easily. Moser goes to second. Brown scores another run for the Jumbos on the pass ball. Score is 9-4.
It's got to be frustrating if you're Trinity. Have a good count, 0-2, and then the ball gets by the catcher, and you bring in another run. Unfortunately, the deficit for Trinity is just growing larger at this point, with more to come potentially if they can bring the runner home from second.
And there's a foul ball right over our press box here.
I think you could have gotten that one, Brad.
No, my arms aren't that long. I'm not Odell Beckham Jr. Here's the 1-2 from Cardillo. So McLaughlin sends that one out to right field. Pierce is under it. And he gets the out as the runner will fake the tag and go back to second. Smart play there.
Throw would have had him, so good base running.
Good heads-up play there from Benedetto. Jump up and cut it off. If that ball had gone past third, he might have been able to advance. So Stephen White will pitch hit for Kevin Godin. White is a sophomore, getting 211 on the year in his 19 at-bats. About with 2 outs here. Runner on second. So still in an RBI spot here, even with 2 outs. And that ball is a strike. Looked a little low, but strike anyway. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Cardillo. And that one's a strike as well. Tried to check his swing, doesn't matter. Called strike. 0-2, 2 outs now, man on second. White looking to put the bat on the ball here. Cardillo looking to end the inning. Here it comes. And that one's high. Count 1-2 now. Here's the pitch from Cardillo. That one's in there. Throws him. Called strike 3. Trinity will finally get out of it. Tufts scored 2 runs in that inning. Cat score is 9-4. Now they'll increase their lead. 5-run lead now.
All things considered, I think that has to be a successful inning for Tufts, scoring 2 runs and increasing the lead, which they hadn't done since the first inning. Now their pitchers have a 5-run lead to work with.
Yeah, 2 runs is disappointing, but you have to think it could have been a lot worse having the cleanup hitter up with no outs and the bases loaded there.
Yeah. Trinity did do a good job of limiting the damage towards the end, but the wild pitch, pass ball, definitely didn't help them.
Tufts still with a 5-run lead, and Kinney will stay on the mound. Top of the 5th here. 9 hits on both sides now.
Daunting task for Trinity. They got to make up a 5-run deficit in 3 innings. We'll see if they're up to the task. But if not, it looks like Tufts has a good chance to take the last game of this series. Should cap off a successful weekend for the Jumbos here.
No, Ian Kinney has been pretty solid, you'd like to think, in relief.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
Coming in for Andrew David. He's set down a bunch of guys.
Good job. Good job so far.
Would like to hold this lead. He's got a little more cushion to work with now. A 5-run lead instead of 3. Like to keep it that way. Here is Scott Cullinane, senior. It's outside. Forward ball. Count 1-0. Here's the pitch from Kenny. That one's in there. Low outside corner. Cullinane didn't like that one. He's kicking the dirt up a little. And that one's outside. 2-1 now to the catcher. And he puts that one on the ground over to third. Nice throw there and a good scoop over first. Good play there by Falkson.
Definitely, if you're Kinney, just trying to get Trinity to put the ball in play and trying to get some quick outs, get your hitters up, and get through this game faster. With a lead, you know, you just want to protect.
It's Ben Reinich in now for the Bantams, second baseman. That one's low in the dirt. Count 1-0 now on Reinich. And that one's in there for a strike. Count 1-1. 1 out in the inning for Reinich. He'll try to get on base. See if the Bantams can get something going here. Puts the bat on it. Over to O'Hara at third again. Perfect throw. And that's the second out. Good defense from the Jumbos in the infield. After a couple errors before. One error, excuse me, but a couple bobble balls counted as base hits. Infield really picking it up now. A couple good plays from O'Hara. Here's Jack Bennett. Strike on him. That one was low. Right at the knees.
Kenny working quickly here. Definitely pitching very well in relief.
He wants to go right through the order. He wants to cut through it. Here it is. 1 pitch. 0-2 now.
Nice pitch.
2 outs. I think he'd love to get a strikeout here.
Definitely put a cap on a very, very good inning so far.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that's in there.
Great.
Strike 3 looking. For the second time tonight. Bennett is down on strikes. Great pitch there from Kinney. And a great inning. 1, 2, 3. Go the Bantams.
That's exactly what you want when you're the Jumbos. You want to set down the Bantams quickly and get your hitters back up at the plate. They've had a lot of success here today so far.
Going in the bottom of the 5th. Still 9-4 Jumbos.
Definitely when you're Trinity, you can't afford to have a 1-2-3 inning like that when you're trying to make up this kind of deficit.
Doesn't look like Tufts has anyone in the bullpen, as Kinney is just doing great out there.
With 2 innings left, we might see him finish the game, possibly.
See now Cardillo's still out there. He'll be back on the mound for the Bantams.
Pitching with a clean slate this time. Doesn't have to come in with the bases loaded. We'll see if his approach is any different. Definitely a better scenario for him than facing the Tufts cleanup hitter, bases loaded, nobody out. But he did a pretty good job in limiting the damage. Of course, with a 3-run deficit already, not exactly a close game at this point.
Yeah, I'd like to think Richie Cardillo would like to limit the damage here as well.
Definitely giving his hitters a chance to get back in it. Very important.
Now here's Tom Petrie, the second baseman. Swings through that one, strike. Two and 0 now to Petrie. He puts the bat on that one. Says into shallow left. Brown is under it, and he's got it for out number 1.
Had a good count there and just didn't hit it decently, but didn't hit hard enough and hit it to the fielders.
That was number 25, Ian Steckel with the catch. And here's Oscar Cooch for the Jumbos. Gardillo, pitch. Sends that one into the outfield. That's a base hit.
Nice piece of hitting
Got
there.
a 1-out single. Cooch is on base now.
Turned it around and sent it into the outfield, and we got Tufts has a runner on base.
Here comes Eric Schneef, the catcher. As he said, he had a 3-run home run in the first inning. Big part of this big lead.
Game would be a lot closer right now if not for that 3-run home run.
Cardillo kicks, deals. That one's outside.
Oh.
Cooch is off and running.
Oh,
And they miss. They throw it out. They would have had him in a pickle. Would have likely had Cooch caught between the base paths. Would have had him out. But no, sir. Throw is off.
Tough fielding play for Trinity, turning a likely out into a runner in scoring position.
Coach talking to Cooch there, telling him no in between there. That he got lucky maybe.
Defense, as we've seen in this game, so important in building rallies and stopping them.
Oh, and he hit him there. Hit him on the forearm. Cardillo seems to think he leaned out over the plate and got that on purpose, but either way, he'll take his base.
Definitely looked like he was leaning inside a little bit. If it was on purpose, who's to say, but Tufts now has 2 guys on. Another rally brewing.
And here, would you believe it, we're back to the top of the order. Cody McCallum, number 7, is into the box with 1 out.
Such a productive top of the order today. It's been the key for success for the Jumbos. We'll see if it continues.
Throwing over to second. He's safe. Now, if you're Richie Cardillo, you try to induce a ground ball here, you go right after him.
I think the ground ball's the play, but McCallum's got speed, so maybe he'll beat out a double play. I think you just have to try to get the out.
And he's bunting here. And that's foul.
Interesting, bunting with a 5-run lead. If you're willing to give up an out, not really sure if that's the best move considering Tufts has had a lot of success against Trinity pitchers today, but we'll see.
With no outs, I feel like that would be
Yeah.
a more sensible move. But right now with 1 out, doesn't make a lot of sense. Here's the pitch from Cardillo. That one's in there. Count 0-2 now on McCallum. McCallum's got to be protecting here. If you're Cardillo, this is the time if you want to force that ground ball, get that double play. The 0-2 pitch. That one's low. Ball 1. Count 1-2 now to the leadoff hitter, McCallum. So 1-2 now to McCallum. Here's the pitch. Puts the bat on it, gets it over to third, steps on the bag for 1, and the throw over. He got him.
Wow, nice
Great
fielding.
play on the bounce. Wow, double play. Good fielding there from the Bantams. And we'd like to thank Alec Whipple for joining us as Max Horowitz will get back on the mic here. How you been, Max? Enjoying the game?
I'm happy to be back, Brad, and it's been a joy to watch. I also want to congratulate Alec on doing a great job there in his first outing.
Absolutely. Speaking of outings, Ian Kinney has been pitching really well in relief of Andrew David.
Absolutely. He's been absolutely stellar since coming on in relief. Hasn't allowed any runs and has been doing a great job mixing in all his pitches. Has had success with his breaking ball, changeup, and as well as the fastball.
So 5-run lead here still. Trinity, maybe they'll try to ride the momentum off that double play. It was a great fielding play. Now they got to get the bats going.
Yeah, they're looking for an opening here.
Ian Steckel will lead off for the Bantams. Try to get something going. So we're going to the top of the 6th now. Tufts is able to hold this lead. Only 3 half innings left in this game. Been a long one, though.
It has been. I mean, that's what happens when you have these
high-scoring games, yep.
Exactly. Especially throwing a long argument from the Trinity manager, too.
Here's Ian Steckel. And that one's ball. A couple of Ians on the field. Ian Kenny, the pitcher. And Ian Steckel, left fielder, into the box. And he grounds that one over to third. O'Hara throws it to first, no problem. And that's out number 1. Good fielding here, again from the Jumbos, especially Tommy O'Hara. Here's DiBenedetto, the shortstop. Showing a nice glove in the field. Let's see if he can get the bat going. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Trinity's chances in this ball game are only going to get dimmer by the batter. You have to get something going here. You have to have a man on base if you're the Bantams. Oh, a swing and a miss. Ugly swing there from DiBenedetto.
And there's that off speed from Kinney. He's really been doing a good job getting it over the plate, and it's a real threat for him.
Oh, and 1 pitch now from Kinney. Here it is. And that one is in there on the low outside corner. Nice pitch. As he has him down 0-2, making him look silly out there.
And that's really distinguished Kinney as he throws that curveball for a strike regularly.
Here's the 0-2. DiBenedetto puts the ball on it, but it's foul.
And you can see the effect of the off-speed stuff there. Is the batter's got to protect the plate against that. And when Kinney comes in with that fastball there, he's way behind.
Ball gets away from Kinney there. Got a new one. Oh, 2 now, looking to get the second out of the inning. Here it is. It's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Drop third strike, and they'll get the out. Great strikeout there from Kinney. He's got it working right now. Into the box now, number 6, Nick Pizzella, center fielder. Two outs now. Let's see if Pizzella can get the bat on the ball. You need a hit right here if you're the Trinity Bantams. Oh, swing and a miss. Kinney is just dominant right now.
The Bantams cannot pick up that curveball.
Oh, one pitch, here it is. And that one is in the dirt and off the catcher's mask. Count 1-1 now. Here's Kinney on 1-1, 2 outs. That one's in there, strike. Count 1 and 2 now. 2 outs, trying to get out of it once again. Here it is. Pizzella hits that one foul. That's out of play. See if maybe you can get the bat on it, on the ball again. Get something into the outfield fair. Trinity could certainly use it right now. And that one's low. Checks his swing. But they'll say he went around.
Wow, that first
I don't know. I don't know about that call. I mean, to me it looked like he held up. What do you think, Max?
That first base umpire is very strikeout happy on the check swings. He had a questionable one earlier, and this one, I think, without a shadow of a doubt, was a check swing.
Maybe he just wants to go home. I don't know. That was a very questionable call.
I mean, it has been a long game, and it is cold out here.
Yeah. Well, I would understand his desire to go home. You gotta be fair with these calls. That was just, I think, a missed call right there. I think he held up. Cardillo's still out there, Richie Cardillo. Cardillo, of course, a freshman for the Bantams. He's put in a few good innings here. And if all goes well for Tufts, this could be the last inning they come up to bat. So what do you think about the next half inning? You think if they hold the lead here, they'll, well, obviously they'll hold the lead, but do you think they'll bring Kinney back out?
I don't see why they should take him out. The guy is dealing right now, and the Bantams have no answer for him at the moment.
Absolutely, it makes a lot of sense to keep him in there. Got 2, 3, 4 hitters up. Exactly what you want for the Jumbos. Harry Brown, Matt Moser, and Tommy O'Hara set to lead off this inning. And there is a ball, apparently. Umpire says that's inside. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Cardillo. Brown hits that one back to the backstop. Foul ball. And there it is. 1-1. That's a ball. 2-1 now with no one out. And that one is ball. 3-1. Jumbos could get a walk here with no out. Here it is. That's a strike right in there. Full count now for Harry Brown. See if Harry can put the bat on the ball. Here it is. And he swings right through it. He struck him out. Good strikeout here from Richie Cardillo. Here comes Matt Moser back into the box. He walked his last time to load the bases. There's a ball in the dirt. 1-0 now with one out. Mose puts the bat on the ball, sends it out into center field. That's a base hit.
That one was a bit off the end of the bat, but he's able to muscle it in center field for a base hit.
Tommy O'Hara gets up again. Sack fly. Scored a run in his last at bat. Bat from the left side. Here's the pitch. That one is a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Cardillo. And that's a ground ball over to short. Will they get the double play? He's safe. So they get the one out, but O'Hara's safe at first. Almost a double play. That was a bang-bang play at first.
Good hustle there by O'Hara.
Yep, he's not giving up, even late in the game with a 5-run lead. Here's Nick Falkson, his defensive replacement earlier. Two outs. Here's the first pitch. That's a strike in there.
And Kitty is staying loose here on the side, so we'll expect to see him back on the mound again.
Cardillo checks it first. Here's the 0-1. That one's low for ball. Count 1-1 now. That's a strike in there. 1-2 now with two out here for the Bantams. Can they get out of the inning? Here's a 1-2. Cardillo checking at first. And that one's low again. So 2-2 now. Two out.
Does a good job to lay off that breaking ball there. Started out in the strike zone, but able to keep his hands back and resist the urge to swing at a ball down low.
He didn't chase. So we'll have another chance here. 2-2 now. Two outs. And he fouls that one off right over at the bleachers. Hawks will have another try, 2-2. Cardillo looking to get the punch out here and end the inning. Here's the pitch from Richie Cardillo. And he puts the bat on that one. It almost speared by the second baseman, but he can't get it in the glove. Would have been a great play, but no chance. Now they got two on with two out here. 9-4 lead. And here comes Stephen White. Pinch hit in his last at bat. He is the DH.
He took a cold third strike last time, so he'll be looking to make contact here.
And good eye there. Lay off that one in the dirt. 1-0 now with two outs.
Catcher doing a good job blocking that ball after letting that pass ball go by earlier in the game.
And the throw over to second. He's safe. Heard some Trinity fans over there yelling. Thought he might have been out.
There have been a number of close plays there with pickoffs at second.
Yeah, I noticed that. Don't quite see that a lot. 1-0 with 2 outs. Another pickoff to second. He's safe. Be careful, Matt Moser.
Deep Benedetto is really hanging out behind the bag.
That's Tommy O'Hara, excuse me. Want to know once again with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one's low. 2-0. Imagine a walk here with 2 outs. Load the bases. Not exactly what you want if you're the Bantams, especially being behind 5 runs going into the last inning of play. Here's Stephen White. Pitches inside, 3-0. As they'll have a conversation out there.
You definitely don't want to walk him, but at the same time, you can't afford to just lay one over the middle here.
Scott Cullinane, the senior, trying to calm down his freshman pitcher. Always good to see upperclassmen taking charge. Here's the 3-0 pitch with 2 outs. And that one is low. He walks the bases loaded. Things are just spinning out of control here for the Bantams.
That's a very questionable pitch choice. On a 3-0 count, he goes with a breaking ball. I'm not sure why.
I'd rather just try to get a fastball down in the middle even than that pitch. Stephen White, while having a good season, I mean, he's only hitting .211. He hasn't had a lot of at-bats. Wouldn't be too worried about him driving one for an extra base hit. I would have challenged him. All right, Cardillo will go to the bench here. Got a new pitcher. New pitcher here for the Bantams. Pitcher is number 26, Eric Mull. He's also a freshman. 10 innings of work, has a 1.8 ERA, so solid season so far. 2 strikeouts, 5 walks. On 2 earned runs, 7 runs. So again, it looks like fielding has been kind of a problem for Trinity this year. It's a lot of unearned runs have come across the score in their season.
Haven't noticed that today, though. They've been playing well out in the field, with the exception of one error.
An error on each side, as there have been some bobbled balls. Left-handed thrower now is Mole.
And the outfielders for each team have handled these windy conditions well. We haven't seen anybody out there have much difficulty handling the gusts.
The announcers, on the other hand, our hands are freezing off.
I could use a Snuggie or something.
Snuggie. I haven't heard that one in a while.
We got to thank our producer, Jake Hellman, for telling us to bring jackets, though, today.
Yeah, we got an email this morning saying it's going to be cold out. It's going to be windy. So we all bundled up here. Like to stay warm at JumboCast. So here's Tom Petrie, the junior, second baseman for the Jumbos. The base is loaded here and 2 outs. Big at bat, even with the big lead. Here's the pitch. That one's low, ball 1.
The catcher's got to block all balls in the dirt here. Last time in this situation, got a little nonchalant and let one get past him.
And that one's a strike. And there it goes down the line. That's a base hit. And 2 runs will score. That's a double there for Petrie.
So Mole
Here's
gives
Oscar
up.
Cooch now.
Mole get up that hit. Those 2 runs will be charged to Cordillo.
Mole's sub-2 ERA will not be damaged, not yet. So that ball's high. Here's Cooch up with 2 outs. Cooch pops that one up to shallow left. Benedetto giving chase. Gets under it. And that's the 3rd out.
It'll take a monster comeback effort from the Bantams here to pull this one out now. Kitty looking to finish this one off and continue his success, of course.
Now an 11-4 game, a 7-run lead for the Jumbos. So not a lot of pressure on Kenny, but it's your last inning of work. Still want to go out there, have a good inning, finish your outing on a strong note, and finish the series on a strong note. If you're the Jumbos, they must be incredibly happy with their success here in these past few days.
Yeah, they'd sweep the series, remain undefeated in NESCAC play, and continue their strong play at home. They've only lost 1 game here all year.
So due up for the Bantams, we got 2, 3, and 4. That's Stamatis, Pierce, and Pigeon. So those are the guys due up for Trinity. They'll start what could be their last inning here, unless they can get a big rally going. Score 7 runs to tie the game. What do you think, Max? Is it possible?
Well, as they say, anything is possible. And I can remember back to my playing days, we once had what we called a Memorial Day miracle. We were down 6-0 going into the last inning and then won 7-6 on a walk-off. So
unbelievable. Congratulations. There's a ball there to Stamatis.
But I would be very surprised if the Bantams can put on such an effort here.
So not impossible, but very, very improbable. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. And there's a ball low. 2-0 now. With no outs. There's the 2-0 from Kenny. Puts the bat on it and sends it into left field. That's a base hit. Nice hit there from the freshman Stamatis. And here is Brendan Pierce.
Stamatis did a good job taking that outside fastball the opposite way.
Pigeon and Cullinane on deck for Trinity. See if they can get a rally going here. Make the miracle happen. Down 7 here in the top of the 7th. Remember, this is the last inning for Trinity. Unless they can tie the game.
And it looks like we have some action up in the Tufts bullpen here just in case it's necessary.
It's a smart move. You gotta have some guys up, especially with your guy going into, what, a 6th inning of work? And strike there. He actually pitched in the 1st inning, although there were 2 outs. 2nd inning, actually, excuse me. David got through the 1st inning and then was taken out in the 2nd. So about 5 innings of work here. And looking to add on to that. Here's the 1-1 from Kenny. Gets the ball on that one and sends it up through the chute. Base hit for Pierce. Still no outs now. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Cannot afford to get comfortable here if you're the Jumbos. Even with a big lead, can get a rally going.
How much of a lead should you give Kenny here?
Say if he lets up a run or 2, it's time to pull the plug. Here's Kenny. Strike in there. 0-1 now. To Daniel Pigeon.
Bantams in the upper half of the zone. The stump has been given the high strike more than the low one so far today.
Here's the 0-1 from Kinney. Puts it on the ground. Can they get their double play? Doesn't even think about it. Throws it to first and gets the out. So 1 out here. Tufts is 2 away from finishing out the game.
Actually, I think O'Hara was able to tag the runner over there. They got 2.
Was he? Oh, he got 2. My mistake. I didn't see the tag. Double play there, 2 outs. Jumbos are 1 away from finishing the series and finishing the sweep. Great heads-up play from O'Hara there. I didn't even notice. Just slapped the tag on him.
Absolutely, and this would be a great relief outing for Kinney, a good old Jersey boy from my neck of the woods.
I'm from Jersey as well. And there's a pitch. It's a ball. I knew we had so many people from New Jersey here at Tufts.
There's just a couple of us, I think.
I think more than a couple. 2 outs, 1 out count. It's the pitch. Puts the bat on it and sends it over to short. He spears it. Up with the throw. Oh, and he dropped it. He's safe. Great play by Moser making the stop, and he just can't keep it in the glove. Very unfortunate. If you're Nick Falkson, first baseman.
Yeah, that would be an error on him. That would have been an absolutely gorgeous play on the diving stop there by Moser.
Still 2 outs, however. Runners on first and third, and the Tufts still has a 7-run lead, 11-4. See if they can close it out. Up to bat, Reinich. And that's a strike in there. 0-1 now to Reinich. Can he close it out? And there's another strike. Now they're down to their final strike now, 0-2 with 2 outs. Here it is. Kinney, the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Good block there.
Have you ever seen that before? That ball just got caught up underneath his mask.
Oh, really? Didn't quite notice that. I noticed that he had it in his glove, but that was interesting. No, I've never seen that before. Maybe that's why they wear him, I guess, so he didn't get hit in the neck. Time out to talk to his pitcher here.
Yeah, I think Schnepp was just taking a bit of a breather there.
2 outs, 1-2 count on Reinich. Tufts looking to close it out here.
What do you think? You think Kinney goes right back to the breaking ball here, or try and
yeah, I think you try to get him to chase. You don't leave one out over the middle, that's for sure. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Kinney. He sets. Strike 3 called. Ian Kinney closes it out, and the Jumbos win 11-4. What an absolute gem of a game from Ian Kinney. Coming in a relief for Andrew David. You thought it would be David maybe getting a complete game and closing this out, but Ian Kinney had a great game, and Tufts completes the sweep of Trinity. What a fantastic game for the Jumbos, 11-4. A lot of offense on both sides, but Trinity just got shut out the last 4 innings.
Well, and that's what this Jumbo team does, is they've had such good talent up and down the roster, and they're able to pick each other up. Even if the ace senior, like Andrew David, struggles, they got so much talent that they can overcome it. And we looked at the win early in the game, especially with the 4 homers earlier today, and we thought we might see some more fireworks, and we certainly got to see plenty of that.
So what a fantastic game on both sides. Just entertaining all around. What a great series of NESCAC play these teams have had. Tufts gets the sweep. 3-0 as they win this one 11-4. And thank you for tuning in to JumboCast. If you've been here for our whole doubleheader, you're probably sick of my voice by now. I'm Brad Schussel. This is Max Schlorowitz. Thanks to Alec Whipple, Jake Hellman, Remy, Andrew, our crew, and everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. It looks like we got our camera on over here. Yeah, thank you again. We just we love what we do here at JumboCast, and we had some great baseball today. So thank you for joining and watching our Jumbos get the win.
And we hope to have you back on Monday for some more baseball.
All right. Thank you.